got another property I'd like some help with. This one is in Humboldt County, California. It's two properties. It's two separate APNI. So I'm on Parcel Fact. This is one of the properties. Let's zoom out first. You might be able to tell it's in the woods and on a river, and green. You can drive up to it and stuff. So here's San Francisco down here. Property's up here. Eureka's not too far away. It's up the 101. 5 goes up this way. The 101 over here. And it's a lot of national forest and green stuff all over the place. And it's the kind of climate where you get, you know, stuff coming in off the ocean, so it stays cooler. It's not as hot as back, the backside of these hills. It's very green. A lot of fog comes through in the mornings and things. Come up these kinds of valleys. This is maybe around a couple of bends. It's not going to be wide open to the ocean air, but you can see how it starts to get a little bit drier as it gets further in. But it's still really a green area. There's a little town here called Bridgeville. This is Highway 36. It runs along this river. The property's right on the river. Looks like a creek comes out there. So this property used to have a house on it, and the guy said that the river moved and washed the house away, and they had to remove stuff and clean it up, and it was a mess. And he wanted to build a new house, really like the spot. He wanted to build one, never got around to it. The lot right behind it, I think this should be moved over a little bit. It's the way these houses line up. So there's a lot behind it. This is one lot, and this is one lot. So one lot on the river here. Look at what some of these people are doing over here. There's like a guy living on the island in the middle of the river. Water's going this way, water's going this way. There's a little trail here, but I don't know where how does he drive through the river to get to something? I don't know how he gets supplies in and out of there. Almost looks like the house might have something wrong with it, but it's been a house, or it was a house, or I don't know. A whole bunch of different property ownerships in here too. You look at the lot line maps. There's road A comes around here, comes down. This used to be a house, right? You can drive right up to it. It's got power lines. It's got everything. It's just the bank moved. You'd have to build a house further back a little bit. Hope the river doesn't keep moving on you. But right in here, there's a big hill. Like the hill starts going up. I'll show you that in the next sets of information. Well, first let's get some Google, get some GPS numbers. Just click these and pull them up while we're talking. So there's a second property. If you remember that one, the first one was right on the river. This one's right behind it, and they're parallel to each other. So it's like a big piece of land right here. Here's the two lot lines. Here's one, here's the other. We'll go back and look at the sizes. 0.54 acres for the one that's on the river. It's like 0.3 something, I think. 0.37. So that's 0.91 acres if you put the two of them together. Look at the topography map here. Like just behind it is the mountain. Just to the side is the mountain, and the creek comes out. This creek comes the other side of that ridge and flows in and out, so you don't have the creek washing through there. And there's the road comes right back around. You're like at the end of the road. The bridge is right there, and there's the island. Let's look at the market. So it's Humboldt County, right? So it's 0.91 acres. What could you do with it? So price low to high. I didn't do anything about the size. You got some spam here in the beginning that shouldn't be there, and then you got cheapest stuff in the county is one. I just made a video about some Shelter Cove land that I've got up for wholesale too. I'm going to pick on Shelter Cove because it's the cheapest in the county for a reason, because you got all kinds of regulations about what you can and can't do in that neighborhood. Like if you want to move into the Shelter Cove neighborhood and live in an RV, they say, yeah, go to the campground down at the bottom of the hill. Don't park it on your own property. You can't park it on your property. You got to build something there first before you can park the RV on your property. You got to build a house. You got to build it. You got to be stick built. It's got to be built on location. Can't be hauled in. And it's a classic neighborhood kinds of rule. So they want you to go build. And so if you want to grow pot, you got to build a house first before you can grow pot. And this is Humboldt County. So this property that's outside of Shelter Cove, I believe, and from my limited information and talking to people and dealing land in the county, is you get outside of Shelter Cove and the communities, you can go do what you want. You can roll up in your RV and you can live in a yurt. You can do that kind of stuff. I might be wrong on this property, but I believe that's the way it is. And so that's why looking at the market, getting that context of Shelter Cove. Oh, Whitehorn, that's Shelter Cove. Shelter Cove, they actually said Shelter Cove. Shelter Cove, Shelter Cove. Okay, so if we skip this Shelter Cove stuff, Shelter Cove, Shelter Cove, the price is up to $8,000. We're still on Shelter Cove. It's getting over, not as big as the property we're talking about, not on a river, still Shelter Cove. Shelter Cove, Whitehorn is Shelter Cove. Whitehorn is Shelter Cove, Shelter Cove. I don't know where these properties are. These ads just piss me off because they don't give me locations. I think it's still Shelter Cove. They just don't want to say it because that lowers the price of the property. Shelter Cove, unknown. Yeah, right. Ocean View. It's Shelter Cove. Paved Street, Water Connection Street. It's obviously Shelter Cove. Um, Shelter Cove. We're up to 15 grand now. We haven't got out of Shelter. This one is Shelter Cove. Shelter Cove, we're up to 20 grand, and the properties are not as big as we're talking about, and they're in Shelter Cove with all the restrictions. Still going Shelter Cove, Shelter Cove, Shelter Cove. We're 25 grand. This is not Shelter Cove. 27 grand to get out of Shelter Cove. Steep lot of potential in a neighborhood. Spring on property. That's pretty cool. But it's not a river. Here's the properties on a different map is Google Maps. I'm gonna do some street view. So here's the bridge. Here's the river. Wow, it's green this time of year. It's different green than the satellite pictures. Remember all that gravel? That's gone. There's a bunch of water. When did they do this? April 2012. See if we can drive across and look back. I'm gonna give you guys GPS coordinates in the ad so you can do this on your own. Maybe from over here. What happened? There's a mailbox. Might be community mailbox. Here's a greenhouse. It's probably not pot grower that close to the street though. I'm getting lost. You can't see across the river from here. I thought I might be able to look back. We're looking the wrong direction. Okay, so there's the house on the island. The water drops off over here, and the property is back kind of over there. Maybe if we go up here more, we can see it. That's the gravel you can see on the maps. Yeah, so it's back in there. I mean, super green area. This is April. It's probably the wet season, and it's always raining in this area. But green, green, green. You're going to be on the river. Going to be water, no lack of water. And then I think you can get closer on some of these streets. See how this street comes back around here somehow and comes back into the property. Now this street here comes back in there, and then here's the property, like in this back corner before it starts turning. You see how the hill is all steep over here, but the property's back in here. I don't think we can do street view in here. It's got that road and it's got easements. It's got easements to it. And this looks like it goes through the guy's house. It doesn't make any sense. But I mean you can see road over here. And the deed has easements on it. So I'm sure you can get to the property. There used to be a house there. Let's see if this map says anything. Different. Look like they're growing stuff around their house. I doubt those are orange trees. Yeah, they're not getting back in there in the street view either. Sometimes you get better street view from these guys. Sometimes it's just awful. Yeah, so it's over there. Wish I'd tell you what time of year. 4/17/2015. They drove through here in April too. 2015. Google went through in 2017, so Google's 2 years newer than these guys. But still fun to see different pictures of the same thing. That's the area. So if you, yeah, I'll do the notary paperwork, dance, and everything, communications, go make it all happen. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Luke